Deadlock's January patch is due in soon. So today I want to gather everything that could possibly be in it all in one video. Pretty much all the info in this video will come from the Twitter leakers, Minesweeper, Sleep, and Hesse, so I can turn their engagement farm into my own engagement farm, as the Lord intended. Let's start with the best part, the characters.
I know it's real. I know the patch is real. It has to be. It's fucking real. It's real.
From what we know, the new update could potentially contain 6 new characters. Venator, Rem, Necromancer, Fencer, Silver, and Pepper. There's a shit ton we don't know about these new characters, so please remember that these are leaks and they can change pretty quickly. Just like my ex-girlfriend. Fucking bitch. Venator is a vampire hunter, recently named Quinn. People do not like the name Quinn. Jesus. Queef. Who has anti-tank built into his kit. Venator uses many different weapons, such as a Molotov, a crossbow, a bear trap, a shotgun, and an assault rifle. His kit is supposedly very simple, with each ability being a different weapon. His one would be a Molotov, which does burst damage with a true damage dot with built-in anti-heal. The 2 is his shotgun, which has knockback and a wall stun, a lot like Abrams. His 3 is a bear trap, which roots and reveals enemies and can be disarmed when shot at. And his ultimate is a crossbow that has 3 piercing bolts, which executes low HP enemies. Venator is the one we know the most about, since he's been rumored for like literally months now. Like, I think the plan was that he was supposed to be the last batch of heroes, or at least soon after, and that never happened. Next we have Rem, which is probably the community's favorite, because I literally only see fan art of this fucking guy. Only him. Rem is the small owl, pretty much the size of a minion. I think he's a little bit bigger. And he has a lot of similarities to Yuumi from League of Legends. The character that made me stop playing League of Legends. The character that makes me believe that some people just shouldn't make things. The character that makes me believe that genocide could be pretty popular. We don't know much about Rem's abilities, but we know for sure that Rem's 2 is called Tagalong, which lets you ride an ally, granting them barrier and regen. And already, this ability is already way less annoying than Yuumi, presuming that the barrier is balanced. I still have problems dealing with the book lady. Rem's ult is called Nap Time, which seems to be a big line or a big AoE, which inflicts the debuff Tired, which my wife constantly has. Like, how am I supposed to get my fucking dick wet? Which eventually makes the people who are afflicted fall asleep. Rem's 1 is supposedly called Pillow Toss, which knocks enemies up. We don't know what Rem's 3 is, but it is rumored that he can control other familiars to steal centers and boxes. That could be scrapped, but it would make sense since his old code name was Familiar. Next, we got Fencer, who plays a bit like Fiora. Fencer is an Ixion who's meant to be high skill gap with high mobility by using short dashes that deal damage, which also resets your stamina bar. I heard that it might function a bit like Fiora Q. Fencer has a parry ability that stops effects. Now, I don't know what type of things this parry will stop, but I assume it'll be a little bit like Counterspell. And Fencer is supposedly a frontline tank, so I assume with his parry ability that he will somehow gain some sort of tank buff after he parries something, sort of like Billy when he melees. But you know, that's just me just saying shit. I'm just speculating. Fencer's ultimate is a large thrust forward that deals damage in a big AoE. And as you know, it's no surprise that his main weapon is, you know, a fencing weapon, the rapier, whatever that thing's called. People speculated for a long time that he was going to be only melee. That's got to be something really difficult to balance, because, you know, everyone has a gun. Next up is Necromancer / Graves, who seems to be a spirit carry who's designed a little bit like Undying from Dota 2. Graves has a wall that roots enemies that pass through it. She has a passive that steals gun damage from people she shoots, and supposedly at 5 ability points, her beam bounces to +1 target. I don't know what her beam is. Maybe she's like Bebop and her gun is a beam, but it wasn't exactly clear. And finally, her ult is a lot like Undying Tombstone, that constantly unearths ghouls that follows people before eventually exploding, dealing spirit damage. And to break these fucking tombstones, you gotta heavy meal. If I see people light mealing the goddamn tombstone when this fucker comes out, I'm gonna fucking tweak. Hey, a positive thing, Gooner bait, baby. Gooner. That's how they're realizing that that's how you sell skins in the future. Look at Overwatch. That game fucking sucks, but it's #1 on Pornhub. The last two characters are Pepper and Silver. Now, we know basically nothing about these guys. We know more so about Pepper. We know what she looks like from an art commissioned by one of the leakers. She got an actual like leaked portrait too. Yep. 144p in all its glory. And through asking the leaker themselves, I am told that it's a spirit carry / support hero, which, you know, even Paige was a fucking carry at one point. Silver, we know, is a werewolf that is named Shapeshifter, and they probably have 2 forms, human and, you know, doggy. So they might have 3 abilities per form, and then the alt changes, but that, you know, I'm just fucking guessing. That's a pretty common theme with shape-shifting characters in other MOBAs. And we know pretty much nothing about this, but we don't even know if she's going to be in the update. Like, who knows? We do, however, have a lot of the icons. We got Rem, we got Fencer maybe, we got Pepper, and then we got, I guess, Graves. We also have Silver's icons, and then this thing that is an unknown hero. Which, I mean, it looks pretty cool. Looks sick. Deadlock might officially be getting an Aram mode. Street Brawl is a roguelite mode made by our Lord and Savior, Popo. Dude sold his game to work at Valve. That's a goddamn promotion right there. The Aram mode will have enhanced items, which have buffed up stats compared to their normal counterparts, and legendary items, which will give buffs like infinite ammo and both types of resists. I don't know how the infinite ammo is gonna work. That sounds fucking bullshit. If this leak is to be believed, the Aram mode will not have a new map. It'll just be the mid lane, with some areas around it exposed. There won't be a jungle, because soul counts are apparently fixed, and it'll be round-based 4v4. So I guess it'll be pretty much killing each other trying to win, which I guess it'll be like a team deathmatch or something, sort of like that. Now, apparently there are going to be 2 different modes of the Aram. The roguelite version with the fancy items, and then there was going to be another one with just regular Aram, no fancy items, just fucking duking it out. One of the parts I'm most looking forward to is the map changes. We know that both bases are getting an overhaul, and right now they're pretty much the exact same, but one is blue, one is yellow. Or, you know, one's sapphire, one's amber if you want to be an asshole. Apparently the patrons will be changing to demonic gods. Kind of reminds me of a Leshen from Witcher 3. It's kind of what it looks like. So, you know, eventually there'll be demonic gods instead of, you know, board pieces from a board game in the 1990s. But the only base leak we have is, you know, this picture from like 2 months ago on the amber side. And you can actually gather a lot from this image. Like, you can see there's 2 spawn points. The shrines are like turbines or something. And, you know, the giant fucking demon in the middle. Now, this image is actually kind of old, and I expect it to look even better than this. Supposedly, the shrines are on large platforms high in the air, and these trucks that you see in the map, these will also be open with veils inside, kind of like a lot like the juke closets. Now, I expect the trucks will also be bigger, because currently, it doesn't look like Abrams can fit in them. And there's even more map changes than just the base. A lot of the interiors of the buildings will be changed, especially since right now all the interiors, they all look exactly the same. Every building is the same building, pretty much. Like, Deadlock takes place in New York, a bustling city with lots of people. There's supposed to be evidence that people have lived here. Like, each building has a name, like the Comedy Club. You know what's in the Comedy Club? Fucking nothing. Not even a mic stand. So I assume a lot of these buildings will get some flavor that attributes to what the name of the building is called. And the subways. The subways are going to get changed. The subways have been exactly the same for, like, since the game came out. Now, this part's a little uncertain. Even the leakers are like, Now, last big patch, we got a yellow lane rework. It's now a shipyard. In this patch, I think one of the main goals they had for the map is to do the green lane, which is the park lane right now. And the green lane will be reworked into an asylum. And I can tell you, I'm fucking mentally ill, baby. We also might be getting model reworks for Yamato, Viscous, Warden, Bebop, and Seven, who right now are in desperate need of a remodel. I think Seven and Bebop, I think they're okay for right now. But you can literally see polygons in Viscous. Like, this model is, like, terrible. And as time goes on and more map changes happen, the more Viscous looks worse. He does not fit the current game. Same with Yamato, like look at her. We might also be getting some sort of cosmetic stuff, like Dota 2 style intros, splash screens, and I guarantee there's gonna be some sort of FOMO with these two. If we have FOMO for the snow globes and the I voted thing on the wall, there's gonna be FOMO for splash screens. Like imagine in 2040 and you have Deadlock's very first splash screen. That shit would be sick. That shit would go so hard. And finally, the last little crumb that I fucking gathered through all these text and Twitter posts are jungle creeps and regular lane creeps. We're getting some new models for minions. Right now, both teams are the same with the candles, but it seems like they want each team to have their own identity. A lot like Radiant and Dire from Dota. Aram team will still be the candles or old technology or old horror, while Sapphire team looks like they have some type of steampunk modern technology feel to it. Now for the jungle creeps, there's some files for garbage cans like Oscar apparently, and chess pieces. Now I don't know about the chess pieces. I don't know if that fits, but maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe there's gonna be a chess hero. Who knows, bro? I can't show you what they look like. You know, you're just gonna have to trust me. You have to trust me and God's greatest creation, Twitter. And there are some things like the Viscous model leak and the Yamato leak. Now these are fucking old. These are so old. Likely scrapped. But you know, it's proof that they're working on it, I guess. But yeah, thanks for watching, boys. And I'll see you next video.